We're doing something different this morning on Inside Cape Cod. Good morning, I am Mina Greene. We are adding a new feature to our Inside Cape Cod program. It's called the Greene Scene, where I actually go out on site and we meet some very, very interesting people in different places. So I hope you enjoy it. We're going to have a lot of fun today. And actually, today, we're going to the Barnstable County Jail for a very special new program implemented by Sheriff Donna Buckley. I first spoke with Molly DeMillionaire, Executive Director of the Cultural Center of Cape Cod, and asked her about what they do there.
Our flagship location in historic Bass River in South Yarmouth, and then we also have a location in partnership with the town of Barnstable and Hyannis as well. And then we are in the community doing the work that you're seeing today. The women are just incredible. So Sheriff Buckley was actually at our ribbon cutting for our Hyannis location, and we started talking about how we could use arts for positive change. You know, people often think of arts as nice, but they don't necessarily think of arts as being necessary. And you could think that if okay, paintings on your wall, maybe they bring you joy, but are they really changing your life? But this type of work is why I get up every day at 5 a.m. without an alarm, right? So you're seeing, on this back wall, this incredible mural that the women have named Sea of Change, with the main character being this women's silhouette. And she's kind of looking toward the door, which was with some intention, right? Because they're not here forever. All these women are going to be leaving the Barnstable County Corrections. And so you have this silhouette of a woman, and then inside of her, you have these community members, right? So these kind of bodies of support. That was really an important part to the women, is they've really been impacted by their choices. And so they're always looking for support and also trying to support each other. And so we thought that making sure that you saw that in the mural was really important. And then she becomes a butterfly. So the name of the program is Metamorphosis. And it's really utilizing art to positively change our community. And that's what this has been about. It's about community connections, collaboration, working with Sheriff Buckley and her team to say, how can we reduce recidivism and make sure that these women are not returning, but also how are we giving them a pathway when they get outside, right? Getting them into jobs, getting them into volunteer opportunities at nonprofits around the Cape. And then, so the roots that you're seeing coming out of that woman's face and her body it's dark down there, right? And that's where they've come from. So those roots are intentionally black. And so we're coming out of that space into positive change. And then water is a real connector to these women. Most of them are Cape Codders, and they were really passionate about water being a real focal point of the mural. And so this is where you see the Sea of Change. And through this process, it's really about having these conversations with the women and having these different prompts about if you could make one change in your life, what would it be? And a big part of it was, what message do you want to leave behind for people coming in and maybe for the first time being in this position? And really powerful input from the women. Everything, funny things, but also, your mistakes don't define you. This too shall pass. Funny things like courtesy flush. Right? So it really runs the gamut about what their journey's been like for them in here. And so this is the kind of the culmination of this very first pilot project, but this is by no means the end of it. I mean, this is just the beginning of our journey with.
I'm so glad you got involved with this, because it is beautiful, and to see the ladies working so well together. And again, the colors and the feeling and the water, it really is amazing.
And from day one, when these women walked in, we didn't really know what to expect. I honestly had never worked within the prison system. And so day one, when we started doing this very abstract kind of free play with art materials, a few of the women had to leave for a few minutes. And when they came back, you watched the women who were there during that say, no, you have to shut your eyes. Now take that charcoal and just move it around that piece of paper. Because they wanted the other women who had missed that to really experience what they were experiencing. So there was so much sharing between the women, and they really care about each other.
It's obvious. I've been observing while everyone's been talking, and I'm amazed. I just think this is such a wonderful program.
We're so glad that you could be.
Next, I had the opportunity to speak with one of the women taking part in this art project, named Jessica. She expresses how this has helped her therapeutically.
It's been therapeutic for me. It's been like releasing. So yeah, I really appreciate this.
I can see how it would be.
Yeah.
It's camaraderie too.
Yeah, it is.
collaboration. I mean, oh my gosh, you've got some absolutely beautiful photos here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look, and I love the root, as she was explaining.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, that's kind of where we got the idea for the tree, yeah.
It really is very pretty. I was looking at that.
Thank you.
This has made a big
It has made a big difference for me, and it also like awakened something inside of me because I realized I could draw all of a sudden. I couldn't draw a stick figure before.
And we love the same.
Yeah, and we did it together. Actually, one of the women came up with the saying. There's going to be other sayings that are going to be like in the waves that we all kind of put together. But yeah, this has been like a group effort, and it's been really amazing to like work with the women and like get along.
I know.
Yeah.
The work that you guys are working together is just incredible.
Yeah. And we had really good facilitators, so it's been meaningful. Like, I'll take this with me forever now,
Before our conversation ended, I asked Jessica how she felt working as a group on this mural.
I've always believed that the more people, like the better outcomes. Like when people work together for like a greater cause, we can't do it alone. Like, so many times we fail trying to do everything ourselves, like whether we're stubborn or whether it's just, false sense of independence. Thank you. I appreciate you guys coming. Thank you.
I was finally able to catch up with the very busy Sheriff Donna Buckley.
Nice to see you in person.
Yes, I know.
I have your voice in my ear.
I'm so sorry.
Well, Sheriff Donna Buckley, this has been a beautiful day. This has been very enlightening. I think the women have great attitudes. They're working so beautifully together. How did you come up with this? Is it a culmination of things? I mean, you've implemented so many wonderful programs for not only the women, but for a lot of the people that are here. And I just find that so fascinating. And they seem so happy. They're working. They have color and beauty around them.
So I came to this job with a core belief that corrections is not punishment. And that if we, as a community, as a society, have decided that someone needs to be incarcerated, then we have an obligation to make sure that we use that time to give them the tools and resources that they need to move on. That is just a core belief, and the data supports that. If we incarcerate people and we warehouse them and we punish them and we dehumanize them, then we know for certain that the best opportunity they have when they're released is to come right back. And that's a threat to public safety, and it's also a failure of our responsibility. Incarcerating someone is a decision that we use, but it comes with a responsibility. And so generically, that is my approach to this entire job. This particular piece of it, the rehabilitation, dealing with trauma and helping through therapeutic processes to rebuild women is a combination of my experience as a woman and meeting Molly and using a person who, through her own life experiences and her own views, brought to the table a process that we could use to treat trauma and provide healing through art. So this has been amazing. It's transformative.
It is. It's a beautiful job. And giving them the skills now. By treating people with dignity, it's only going to be better for them. You know what I mean? They'll feel, I was just speaking with a lovely woman, and she said, I didn't think I could do drawing, I didn't think I could paint, I didn't think I could do any of these things. And now she's standing there with just pride all over her and saying, I never knew I could draw. She showed me her book with some of the pictures that she's been drawing. And the atmosphere, it's weird. When I came in, I thought it's going to be like a jail atmosphere. No, it's not. It's not.
And that is my hope.
And smiles. I'm seeing smiles. I'm seeing achievement on these women's faces. And it's just, I'm going to need tissue.
Well, I guess I'll leave you with this. What you see and feel here is what we hope that they will bring home to their families. That pride, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of worth, that they will then use that to build up their own families and their own children. I think we talked about earlier, there are 33 women in this particular program, and there are 49 children. 49 lives that now have some ability to be touched in a positive way. So it's a beginning. It's going to be a work in progress here. I am grateful to you, especially. I'm grateful for the community support and for helping us understand what it means if we use incarceration as part of our criminal justice system.
Well, thank you so much. And I know you're very busy, but please keep up the good work. I'm going to have you back on in another series because you have implemented some wonderful programs. And I can see that everything you just said about they have such a nice purpose now and that they can go home. When they go home, they can share it with their kids. They can teach them how to draw. They can teach them how to paint. They can teach them to do whatever they want to do. That they can do it.
Yes, and there was conversation earlier about us having board games. Well, that actually came from the staff. It also came from people on the outside who wanted to just have the opportunity to socialize. But think about this. Learning how to play a board game that you can then play with your family. We all have those fond memories. Some of us have those fond memories of connecting with family members that way, and it's not social media driven, it's not television, it's interpersonal skills. It's a learning time, it's a time to take risks. And so that's what guides us here.
Well, I think you're doing a fantastic job, and I hope that you are here for a very long time.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks. Thank you.
Sheriff Donna Buckley, wonderful lady. And last, but certainly not least, I spoke with Casey Myers, the Director of Communications for the Barnstable County Jail.
And you are the wonderful woman who was able to help me get in and set this up today?
Right, yes. My name's Casey Myers. So I work with the press. I work with our social media channels. I work with members of the public in general to get information about our story. I'm trying to tell our story in as many different mediums as possible.
Well, you should, because it is a wonderful story. And from the moment I first contacted you, I could tell the enthusiasm in your voice. You absolutely love what you do, and you and the sheriff, you guys are making such a difference here. It is just incredible.
Thank you. Well, we feel like we're really just beginning. So wait another year and hopefully we'll have more. In fact, I know we'll have more.
Oh yes, just this one project, just this one art project that we've seen, and the way all the women are working together, and they're smiling, and it's just not what you would want to expect. It's not exactly what one would expect if they came in here into the county jail and thought, I'm going to interview some inmates, talk to people and stuff, and you get the image that, they're going to be depressed, they're not going to want to talk, they're not going to... These women are sharing. And I can see it's making such a difference in their lives. You can just see it. And it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. It really is. And my hope is people do get that message, that what we are talking about here is helping people who are super similar to you and I. Almost, in fact, they could be you and I.
Yes.
Just one bad mistake. Some of these people are in here for manslaughter from drunk driving, and who knows, so these are real people with normal sized problems, and they just need help. They just need some help, for the most part.
And they need to feel good about themselves. They need to feel like they're accomplishing things. And the way I've seen these women, when they go home, there's going to be a whole lot of changes at home. There's going to be a lot more connection, a lot more love and understanding, and it's just a wonderful program.
Yeah, we hope that there's supports that they need, so that whatever got them in here in the first place, they have something to stop them from letting that happen again. We're hoping that's what we can provide. We can do a lot here in the inside. We would like that to also be able to happen on the outside. That's the goal.
No recidivism.
Yes, exactly.
That's not easy for me to say.
Right.
Sheriff is amazing. She's got a lot of different other projects going on as well, which I'm going to tap on her next time I get a chance on Inside Cape Cod. And you are a joy to deal with.
You are too, Mina. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you.
And I'm so glad we got to meet face to face today. And
me too.
I will be speaking with you soon, because I really want to follow up, and I want to see more programs that you guys are doing. And just, it's a beautiful job.
Thank you
so much.
Thank
Casey.
you so much.
Well, thank you so much for listening. I have some very special thanks going out to Molly DeMillionaire, Executive Director of the Cultural Center of Cape Cod, Jessica, who was kind enough to speak with me. She was one of the women who was painting the mural called Metamorphosis, Sheriff Donna Buckley, Casey Myers, Director of Communications, along with Lieutenant John Doherty of the Barnstable County Sheriff's Office, and of course, my producer and sound man, Connor McGough. So that's going to do it for our very first Greene Scene, part of our Inside Cape Cod program, heard on all 4 of our Coxswain Media Stations. Be sure to check out our Frank Facebook page, Frank Plays It All, to see pictures from our day at the Barnstable County Jail. Thank you so much for listening. Until next week, I'm Mina Greene.